Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Last time, we finished the investigation and we'll go on to the trial now. 24th of October, 9:11 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendants Antechamber. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here. Why, naturally. A true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but My dear fellows, I must interject. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes? What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Sherlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclaim, arose to some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Oh my, Iris has been busy. Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. I sense a spirit of fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grim expression, eh? Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? What? I don't know. Poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? I took liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the Professor's autopsy report. Was that mass murderers? Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy? He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It's all done under wraps. He was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. Killer's autopsy. Cool. I don't know what to say other than look at the thing. There it is. Condemned prisoner, redacted for confidentiality. Pseudonym, the Professor. Death by hanging, confirmed at midnight, June 17th. Courtney Stevens. Do we know Courtney Stevens? Oh, Courtney Scythe. I wish they put his real name in there. Okay. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Us lowly lot at the yard are just doing what we can, in the shadow of the great Detective Sholmes, of course. See ya. What a nice guy. Well then, Professor Airbrain, this is it. Today we're going to lay all this to rest at last. I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Treba? Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much. Counsel and the defendant. The trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Okay. This is it then, the final chapter. What? Funny, my heart is racing a little. I've not felt this before actually, this strange foreboding. As if something's going to happen in the trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Why did I read it like that? I just realized. 21st of October, 9:30 a.m. The Old Bailey Courtroom. Oh, Kazuma's here. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain here present, who stands accused of murder. Are there counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? The prosecution is ready, my lord. Defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Six has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. If I may, Lord Van Six. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing at your side. Yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. Nice. He has his own sword. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. So he has a saber, not a katana. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else. But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we could do at the moment. I know, but this is so very hard. It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civilian duty. I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very worrying. To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magician's code, not to mention the law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me. We have to listen to what's said on both sides, the fence, and just settle on one, that's it, isn't it? Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. I hope those are close to what I did before. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Six. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition Grounds, evidence of primary importance in this case. The super high voltage instantaneous Kinesis Machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by unknown persons or persons. It was what? An explosion? This is an outrage. Why does he have a gun in court? Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. I have here a photographic print of the scene, taken in the wake of the explosion. Ah, it shows what little remains of the machine. Yes, terrible business. So the trapdoor went down. He did destroy the evidence, did he? That Antechamber. The court will take this print as evidence, counsel. Okay. Late yesterday afternoon. So I'm gonna take a look. Nothing on the sides. Late yesterday afternoon. The prosecution afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. Huh? As it stands now, there's no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions. The authenticity of the Kinesis Machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine, and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection!
Now hold on. As Lord Van Zieks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that had transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Asman died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of clever fraudsters. Names, counsel, if you please. The engineer, Mr. Antechamber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odi Asman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Yeah. Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense has been clearly stated. Lord Van Zieks, summon your first witness, please. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Antechamber, to the stand. Man, that guy's so scary. But he's so cool. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Antechamber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say. See that black monocle? Yes, why do I feel as though I've seen that somewhere? Oh, you too. I had the same feeling myself. Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Leave it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Trebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, that's all. Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Good gracious. Do you mean to say its experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a proper and elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
You've established nothing of the sort. Oh. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by the means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more. But... We've procrastinated long enough, I fear. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition. Understood. I don't know what voice to give him. Like a robotic voice. Kinesis Machine. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Asman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? Yes. All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. I could have sworn one of them was a twin. A body double? Was the professor... Was Asman twins with the professor? He was Professor Hairbrain's financial... A body double? That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has moved when in reality it hasn't. It's basic conjuring principle. Deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with the fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along these lines? Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Asman has had no twin siblings. Had or has? It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Trevor. Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring you know-how. Yes, it's true I possess considerable knowledge of sage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that any academic in the field. Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this, the Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. If our hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by the misuse of the science? Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. I'm just gonna press everything. Kinesis Machine. 1 year ago.
Hold it!
So you were already acquainted with Mr. Asman himself? Not really, but by chance I'd seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. But I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I take up my tools and construct what they ask for. So why did Mr. Asman approach you in particular, then? Who could say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering. Not to mention excellence in fraud. Hard to gauge, but the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprints I was given. other words, the Kinesis Machine was built on solid scientific principles. Yes, you might say that. Professor Hairbrain certainly has a mind like no other. Blueprints... precise.
Hold it!
It's clear that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic. However, the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. But your implication is that I furnished the machine with some trickery, I think. It's a possibility that we have to explore. Unfortunately, though, the machine has been blown into Kingdom Come. So there's really nothing left to explore, is there? It appears that the Kinesis Machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind. There's nothing left of the device either, not a single shred of evidence remaining here. You must have planned all that from the outset. But in any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick. Oh, Show was a fraud and would have required a body double.
Hold it!
Of course, that's it! Mr. Asmund was a twin!
Objection!
Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Asmund had no twin siblings. Oh, no, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me. Demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. But Dr. Scythe absolutely ruled that out as a possibility. It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Asmund, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact. So it can't have been an orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Asmund then? What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? Oh, no, nothing. Just that the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind. Asmund was already on the balloon.
Hold it!
And whoever was on stage was the lookalike and went underground or whatever. Crashed head first, you say? According to many witness reports from those there at the time, yes. Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day? Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop. Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Well, it was the unveiling of the machine I'd labored over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise. I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? How would you have come by that information? Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. Yes, he had been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant. And he had a broken vertebrae as a result of the fall of a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. That was from the last trial. Do we know which injury was the fatal one? Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at the level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height. I suppose that's hard to deny. Terrible accident.
Hold it!
So you understood the science, did you? Not in the slightest. Oh, right. As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example. But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principle it relies on? Easy. Just follow the instructions. Well, you're practicing law without really understanding the principles it relies on, aren't you? Got him. A very good point. Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruto. The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, the science must be sound. Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving our hypothesis. He's certainly very sure of himself. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, now that the machine has been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's going to be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or another. But if we're unable to establish that it was a piece of stage trickery rather than genuine science, we will have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Hairbrain's innocence. Both Mr. Asman and this man in the stand tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivete and his unbending belief in his work, and I won't let them get away with it. Seeing as the professor is an old friend of Lord Van Zeek's, what on earth must he be feeling towards Drebber? Primal blueprints. Did I ever look at this? Oh, I did. We have to do the photograph. Which one's B? Okay. Do I have the... Can't believe I'm stumped on the first question. This?
Objection!
Nope. Damn it. I'm messing up already on the first question. Holy shit. Oh, man. Does the birdcage appear above their heads? Oh, shit. I just do this? No. What should I do? I can't believe I'm really stumped on this on the very first one. No trick. Would it be the hole? This one?
Objection!
Damn it! Ah! Okay. Has to be something else now. I'm gonna get a game over on the first question. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this sucks.
Objection!
I'm just throwing stuff. I'm just throwing stuff.
Objection!
Darn it, game over. Game over. Thank you, counsel. That will do. But my lord, wait. The defense still in the process of establishing no further blah 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 blah. As such, elders is the decision of the members of the jury. It's been an honor to serve, my lord, and we know exactly what we think now.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Guilty!
Oh,
Kill me!
I should do this more often so I can get their voices. Mr. Albert Everin, in accordance to court, I pronounce you guilty. Yay, where's the fireworks? I applaud the jurors for doing civic duty for finding a swift resolution to this matter. That is all, court is adjourned. Retry from this scene? Yes. Cross-examination. Wait, did I press everything already? Okay, now I gotta think. I don't remember what I already tried too. This sucks. Man. Double. I know I already tried this. Birdcage. Did I try the birdcage on this? Maybe there's something hidden I missed. I already touched the bottom, but what did that say? Oh, look here. Oh yes, correct. Balloon was flying down the crystal wall. 30 feet, or 9 meters. Why is it like that? Oh, it's cracked. Okay. Whatever. Did I try this already?
Objection!
No. Damn it. Wait, did I didn't present the birdcage yet, right?
Objection!
Oh my god! I thought I did already! We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. The level of damage is to be expected, surely. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. What? All the bridges in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top. What are you saying? What? I don't get it. Shouldn't it be at the bottom? That's the opposite of where it should be. That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at the base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet damage is at the bottom. Was it always saying that it was going headlong? I don't remember that. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two bird cages in play that day, which were at some point switched. What did I... All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash all head first. I did not read that. Oh my god, I'm blind. Okay. There were two bird cages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Oh man, this is a bad start. Switching during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Oh, this is a rough start. Good gracious, explain yourself, witness. Well... If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we could draw. Damage at the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower.
Objection!
Yeah, that's what I thought happened. But multiple witness reports claimed it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion, at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level, which is approximately 18 meters. It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection!
But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection!
So? He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. Yeah. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was the only vertebra actually. Whoa. This music. Huh? It wasn't quite for long.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zeeks. This witness is clearly a swindler, and one who deceived a personal friend of his.
If you're going to establish this deception, do it right.
Sorry?
I feel like that's the undertone here. Ah yes, there's one more point the defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Jabba, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth. Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically after all. Ah, I nearly had him there. Kinesis Machine clearly took place because there's nowhere else 30 feet to reach. Oh, this one's the easy one.
Objection!
Oh no! No, I messed up again. Did I pick the wrong thing? Did I read it wrong again? It clearly took place because there's somewhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. What? Am I dumb? This is the thing! Is that 30 feet? Does this say 30 feet? Oh. I don't even know what I picked. This is not good. This is not good at all. Do I have to press him again?
Hold it!
What do you mean? Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience. Yes, there are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Asman on the experimentation stage, that's true. And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere. The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance the birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance if it didn't drop off the sky. Ergo, the victim himself must have been beamed from the stage into the sky above Crystal Tower. A trenchant scientific analysis. Tell me, every time I hear it explained, it sounds increasingly possible. Oh yes, it is all very well thought out.
Certainly all the spectators on the day saw it. Birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean.
Irritatingly, yes. There has to be somewhere. Oops. Why can't I skip through this? Already read it though. I meant to switch. How can it not be this? Is it this? But it doesn't say anything. That's
Objection!
what the hell? This is a diagram of the experiment stage and its surroundings. We all know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the Crystal Tower. A fall about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. Same distance of 30 feet. No. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Yes, my lord. Of course. You will indicate the place to which you are referring on the same diagram. This was to scale? I thought it was just a diagram. What the hell? The alternative location which the birdcage could possibly fall in requisite 30 feet. See, I thought it was just a picture. It didn't say, there's no legend saying this was 30 feet. Here. Oh.
Take that!
The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Just exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Go on, counsel. Turns out the experimentation stage was built at considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it's about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two.
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the Kinesis Machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion. I didn't even have to present this? I've been trying to present this all this time. Good lord, the metal grill that formed in the floor and the machine is undone. Yes, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Mr. Drebber. It was you who built this Kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Hairbrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters, a machine designed to take Mr. Asman's life. And flame the blame firmly at the professor's door, something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. Uh-oh.
Objection!
If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions. Why? The prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly, but surely. What? Alright, I think I'm gonna end the episode here, and then next time, hopefully I do better. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye. I'm gonna take a break.